our panelists. Good morning. Thank you for the invitation. I hope you can see me well and you can hear me well. 1 year ago, our Ministry of Digital Transformation was established. We have four particular objectives, and actually, those objectives determine how we move forward from the perspective of central government and from the perspective of liaison with local governments. That's very important. It looks to me that objectives are most important, clear objectives to be understood on the central level, on the local level. It is important in the times of turbulence in order to formulate the work in the right way. We have four particular objectives. The first objective is 3 years we would like to digitize all public services which are provided in our country and take them from offline into online. Another objective is to teach 6 million Ukrainians basic digital literacy. Digital divide in the field of digital skills is a barrier for development of the digital state. Our next objective is to cover our Ukraine by 95% with high speed and mobile internet. And the fourth objective is to increase IT share, the share of creative industry and GDP of our country up to 10%. Today this is 3.7%. Those are four objectives of our ministry that in the beginning of its creation, even before it was created, we have established for ourselves. Based on those objectives, we have created organizational structure at the level of the country. We have the ministry, which is planning the policy I'm the leader of. We have the committee in the parliament, which actually approves the laws and supports us on the legislative level, which is very important to implement the projects. Attention, please. We have launched at the level of each ministry the deputy for digital transformation. We have created as an institution or deputy minister for digital transformation in every ministry. We have the right, we have the legal and normative right at the level of every oblast administration also to have a deputy head for digital transformation. And the cities began to appoint deputies for digital transformation. We have clear objectives, and we have the representative and its organizational structure within every ministry. And we have the opportunity to appoint, and now we already have deputy leaders for digital transformation in every oblast administration, and even in the municipalities, we have some. And we went even further. We have created the Department of Regional Digitalization because we have specificity in the country. 90% of the public funds is the central services, centralized services, government services, and only a small share of services defined locally. And for that, it's determined locally. And for this reason, it is important for us to maximize simplification services on the government level and to make sure people can receive online or via the service centers, so all those administrative services. When we do that in a centralized way, we have actual issue of development of smart city, simplification of life of people in particular cities and municipalities. Therefore, we have the Department of Digital Information, which is focused on development of the strategy of digital transformation of small cities and towns and provinces of Ukraine. And it's very important to share that experience between the regions because there are quite many good practices developed in particular cities. We have the real divide in development, therefore it's useful to share that experience. Therefore, today we have a unique historical organizational structure at the level of the state. We have a clear strategy and we actively move forward. You know that we have launched the DIA portal to receive public services, one-stop shop and mobile application. Just in the month of October, 300,000 Ukrainians have for the first time received access to 4G. We actively develop that direction. Next time we will connect 10,000 facilities of social infrastructure to internet. We taught Ukrainians basic digital literacy. We have registered ECD project actively. We have worked during this year, and we began to implement and already implemented a large number of projects. In terms of liaison, how to operate correctly with local governments when Ukraine is in the process of decentralization, when, on the other hand, the vast majority of public services is provided online. I believe that the maximally uh, effective instruments are specific objectives and leadership liaison with the regions. That's important not only administratively. Secondly, a renewal of the legislation to regulate relations between the regions and the central government in order to implement the projects. And the third one is operational capability. We It's important to have capable managers in the regions to keep them trained, to share the experience, to involve them into what we are doing, and to measure efficiency of their work. For example, as far as instruments are concerned, how to motivate and stimulate people. For example, we have sorted out and created a plan of digital transformation for next year for every ministry. We have budgeted that. Our ministry has received financing for the next year. There will be the budget approved in the second reading. And now we introduce a digital approach in every ministry, a unified approach. Therefore, we shall have a dashboard, public dashboard of all the projects in our country, where is a responsible person, where every Ukrainian can access the website to see how many projects in that ministry, how they're going to launch the service, who is responsible, whether he or she will manage to launch the project, and so on. Creating such a system of coordinates that will stimulate development of managers and also implement projects. Therefore, if to make a short summary, today in Ukraine, the digital country is being built in spite of the period when still in the process we have the reform of decentralization, and we are building digital transformation as active liaison with the regions. Gradually, digital transformation will become the uniting non-political idea, and we have the first results. So we have clear understanding what to do in the next years. Therefore, I wish you a constructive, efficient today's forum that will last for several days. I wish you efficient panel discussions, and I wish you to develop the ideas that will be involve as many people as possible. And also, I wish you to work with efficient managers who will implement your great and small ideas. I wish everyone a nice day. Thank you, Mr. Fedorov, for these positive words. We shall continue the contentful discussion. If you have an opportunity to answer one additional question, I will be grateful. Ukraine is now in the transition of democracy and digital transformation. You have announced certain objectives about the national level and local levels, administrative vertical which has been created for those objectives. Could you please tell me, in the field of democracy, because in many of our organizations, this aspect is of interest. What kind of objectives do you have? Does it include digitalization of the election process, for example, the local elections, which recently happened and yet not finished, regretfully? And what are the threats in the field of democracy and digital transformation would you understand for the future? Very briefly, we shall not take much of your precious time. Thank you for this question. I'm 100% confident that the future belongs to electronic digital elections. This will take 5, 10, 20 years, but the presidents, mayors, MPs will be elected by online technology. That's 100% sure. Please have a look at what happens globally and what is happening in our country. The technology develops really quickly. The world is changing. The behavior of people is changing. Consumer behavior, consumer culture is growing, digital culture is growing every day. Therefore, we follow that way. When it happens in Ukraine, we would like the alternative way to take place in 2024. For our countries, it's an ambitious objective, but that we need to build efficient infrastructure of the registries, cyber protection, culture of people. We have to teach people, train people. I believe that this way lies through implementation, through instruments of direct democracy, transparent budgets, massive opinion polls due to by government services taking decisions in view of such opinion polls, and also launching new product services. When people start using services, they begin to trust the government. They see it really works, and then in reality we have an opportunity to introduce electronic elections. Therefore, for the next year, we have one of the priority objectives to make on the basis of DIA application an opportunity to do massive opinion polls that we can take decisions on the central level and local levels to make maximum interaction, communication with Ukrainians, and actually to introduce and develop that culture of direct democracy. We have a great objective of launching electronic elections if over this period we can reach 70 to 80% of our way and reach many victories and build infrastructure and provide those services. It will be a great achievement. Therefore, we move in that direction. The future belongs to it. And next year, Ukrainians will be able to make use of the elements of e-democracy via DIA application that we actively develop. Thank you, Mr. Vice Prime Minister, for your time.